Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It has been a good couple of months since I last was here. As you can probably tell by my background, things have changed a little bit, including things such as moving location, getting a new job. So this week I celebrated my 6-month anniversary of being at my target weight. With so many changes going on all at once, it could be really easy for anybody to relax. And that's not to say that I haven't. Certainly some elements of those changes have been quite stressful and I've turned to less appropriate foods. But there have been a few key things that I have been able to keep in place, which I think is what has fundamentally helped me maintain my weight loss. Oh, thank you. Lovely. Are you done yet? Are you done? Oh. Okay, go on then. Some of those things that I have been able to keep in place, I've not necessarily realised are what has helped me. But I think where I have been able to maintain this weight loss, it has come to me for some reflection on what is it that's keeping me at this weight. And so from those few simple ideas, and also really just to try and get back into talking to you guys, to let you know how I deal with maintaining a weight loss and whilst dealing with several obstacles that life brings you. So probably the most fundamental thing for me personally is that I still go to group. With these different life changes that I've had to evolve with has actually included changing location twice, and in both instances the very first thing I did was find my local Slimming World group and attend. So actually that's one of the really good things about attending a national weight loss program, is that it's designed there for you to go to any group that suits you during that week, whether it's because you have a shift pattern at work or you decide to try and keep your weight loss going whilst you're on holiday. So when I came to my current location, which is where I hope to be for a good little while, that was the first thing I did actually in the week of moving here, was finding myself a Slimming World group to attend. And I think that for me just keeps the focus on making sure I keep the weight off. Ultimately, there's that motivation of whilst I'm at Target, I don't have to pay for Slimming World. But that also leads me on to my second point, which is I've actually made a decision not to weigh in every week. I think when you've made a significant weight loss and you're now happy at the weight that you are, maintaining that weight loss can be just as tricky as losing the weight itself. You've very much got different issues that you're dealing with. In that weight loss process, obviously weighing in every week, seeing that hopefully progression of losing the pounds was very motivating. Now as a Target member, I feel like I don't want to be reminded or feel like I have to lose weight all the time. So I actually only weigh in every other week. That's something that's actually really worked for me, because although it could potentially leave me more room to just relax, actually a little bit of that is quite good, I think. It just takes off some of that pressure, because at the end of the day, every week we fluctuate, and sometimes that isn't because of what we've eaten, it's because of something our body's responded to. So yeah, I think it just takes off some of that pressure and perhaps even gives me a more accurate reading, because for a good month or so I was actually at the same weight every time I weighed in. Again, going back to those major life changes that I have been going through, and one of them being a brand new job that I'm really enjoying at the moment, it does just zap out all of the energy, all of that brain power it requires. The last thing that you want to do when you come home is to cook yourself a big full meal. I mean, actually, that's not necessarily true, but that's certainly how I feel at the moment. I think where there are so many things going on. For me, I'm just looking to take any opportunity to just sit and unwind. Therefore, convenience is really sort of top of the agenda, and it's not necessarily a good thing because obviously that means we're more likely to eat the wrong foods. So one of the things that I sort of found that I have been doing that kind of combats that is not the most cost-effective way of actually cooking food at home. But I've been basically buying things like this, which is just a stir-fry mix. There are different ones that you can get. I've also gotten Mediterranean vegetable ones. But what it does mean is that I get home, I get the pan out, I open that up, I chuck it all in, put a bit of soy, get some noodles cooked, and that's a 10-minute meal. That's pretty good for you. In terms of the Slimming World plan, am I following it? Probably not. I would say what I'm doing more so now is taking the idea, the rough guidelines of what Slimming World was educating me on. So things like bread, I very much keep to a minimum. Obviously, I understand that vegetables and fruits are really good for me, so I try to steer close to those. But you know, when I'm out with some people and I do decide to have something alcoholic or maybe have a meal that isn't quite so good for me, I just don't count it towards anything. I don't measure it, I don't sin it at all. I think for me that's really important, especially at the moment, because it just takes away that pressure. And for the most part, I think what Slimming World tries to teach you is some really positive habits, because ultimately while we're all there is because we've learnt some bad ones and we're trying to rectify them. And so for me, this weight loss hasn't just been about losing the weight, but it's also been about trying to maintain a much better lifestyle for me. And whilst all these changes have been going on, and it has been tempting to relax a bit more and to get a few more takeaways, etc., I know ultimately that if I was to gain this weight, whilst I might be okay at the beginning, I'd probably be quite devastated. If you're somebody who is currently losing weight and obviously striving towards that end goal of reaching your ideal weight, just know that the journey doesn't end there. But hopefully the journey becomes a lot easier. And I think everybody is different. Everybody has different triggers. Everybody has different thresholds of what will be okay in their lifestyle. For me right now, my motivation is now to get the next 6 months and to be able to say that I have maintained this weight loss for a good 12 months. Because I think for me, that just helps me realise that I'm doing okay. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope some of this was a little bit useful. Maybe it will give you a small idea into how things change slightly as a Target member, that you can overcome those obstacles if it's something that you really want. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.